In last week's video, I showed you how to split a table of data into separate sheets. And in this video, I'll show you a different way to do the same thing. With the method that I demoed last week, I ended up with a pivot table on each sheet. And the way I'll do it in this video, I'll end up with a proper tabular set of data on each sheet. I'll also show you a macro that I've created to automate the creation and the naming of the sheets. This is a truly automated solution. And as usual, if you want to follow along, you can download a copy of the practice files from the link in the description below. So here's my data, a list of employees stored in a table called employees in a sheet called all employees. I've created another sheet, which I've called master, but you can call it anything you like. The headings on row 1 of the master sheet match the headings from the table. I've also entered a formula into A2 on the master sheet, and this is the formula. What it's doing is using the filter function to pull through the records from the employees table where the value in the location column of that table matches the name of the sheet. The reason that the formula returns a calc error, by the way, is there are no records in the original data where the location is master. If you're wondering which part of the formula references the sheet name, it's this part. So if I go to the notes sheet, I've entered a formula into A1, which is equals cell file name, and what that does is it returns the full path to the folder where the file is stored. The file name itself is in square brackets, and after that is the sheet name. The TEXTAFTER function, if I go down to A3, the TEXTAFTER function returns everything after the closing square bracket, which is the sheet name. So if I make a copy of the master sheet and I place it before the all employees sheet, just tick create a copy, click OK, and then I rename it to France, you can see what happens. And because I have a formula in A2, it automatically gets updated if the original data set gets updated. Let me do that again for Spain. So right click on the master sheet, choose move or copy, select all employees. So it's going to put the sheet before all employees, tick create a copy, click OK. So we now have an exact copy of the master sheet. Rename the master sheet to Spain, and you can see what it does. Now, when you've only got a few categories, like here I have, if I go back to the main data, UK, France and Spain, it's quick and easy to manually create a copy of the master sheet and rename it. But what if you had lots of categories? A finance manager that I did some work for last year needed to create 70 copies of the master sheet, one for each partner in the legal firm they worked for. And of course, the sheet name had to match the partner's name. Actually, it had to match the partner's 6-digit reference code from the main list. So I wrote a small macro to automate the copy and rename the sheet process. If you want to follow along, you'll find the macro code in a text file inside the downloadable zip. Now, before I show you the macro, I need to create a list of locations, and I've done that on the locations sheet. So in A1, I've used this formula. It generates a list of unique items from the location column of the employees table and sorts them into A to Z order. The unique function generates the unique list of items, and the sort function sorts the first column of values, in fact the only column of values generated by the unique function. That's what the 1 refers to. It sorts them into A to Z order. That's what the second one does, sorts A to Z. If I'd used -1 for that final argument, it would have sorted Z to A. So let's look at the macro. I've actually opened it up in TextEdit, which is a text editor on the Mac. But if you're using Windows, then just open it up in Notepad. Without going into detail, what the macro does is it goes to A1 on the locations sheet, and then for each item in column A, it makes a copy of the master sheet, places it before the all employee sheet, and then renames that new sheet with the name coming from the value in the cell in the location sheet. So I'm going to select all the macro code and just copy it, just right click copy, and then close the text file down. I've also, by the way, closed down the Excel file and opened it up again, because if I don't, when I run the macro, it'll error because there's already France and Spain sheets in there. So close down, if you're following along, close down the Excel file, just reopen it again. Back in Excel, I'm going to press Alt and F11. What that does is opens up Excel's macro editor. I'll then click on Insert Module. A module is a container to store the macro code, and then I want to paste in what I've just copied. So just right click paste. And there is the macro code that I've just copied. I can then close the macro editor. Before I do close the macro editor, you'll notice that the first line of the macro says sub create sheets. So create sheets is the name of the macro. So to close down the macro editor on a Mac, click the cross at the top left of the macro editor screen. On Windows, click the cross on the top right. And now I'm ready to run the macro, and I only need to run this once. So to run the macro, I need to press Alt and F8. What that does is opens a dialog box that contains a list of macros. On the Mac, I need to click that little icon on the right hand side. You don't need to do that on Windows. There's only one macro in this file. Its name is Create Sheets. Click on it once to highlight it from the list and click Run. And that has now run the macro, and you can see it's created the France sheet, the Spain sheet, the UK sheet by going through the list of items in column A on the location sheet. And because it's created a copy of the master sheet, the formula that's in A2 has pulled across the relevant data. Now, if you're thinking that was a lot of work, creating the formula and creating and running the macro, as I said, I'd only do that if I had more than a handful of categories and didn't want to manually create the sheets. But that's it. We now have one sheet per location, with each sheet storing just the employees for that location. I hope the video helped you out. If it did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like more Excel tips and tricks, check out my website at theexceltrainer.co.uk. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. But until then, have an excellent day.